and welcome to Misha's Journal podcast, where I reveal what the Lord is saying through dreams, visions, and testimonials. Today's topic, expansion. Welcome and thank you for joining me. My voice is still lost, but is slowly but surely coming back. And as long as I scream at the top of my lungs while praying, it's gonna sound like this. So I'm not sure when I'm gonna get the okay to stop doing that, but hopefully it'll be sometime in the very near future. Okay, so there is a dream that I had recently, and this is about expansion. It's just basically what I've been talking about for the last couple episodes. It's just a kind of a continuation. So what happens is when I go through something personal, the Lord is speaking to me, and originally I think that He's talking directly to me, and then He tells me to release it. So then I get the okay to release it for everyone. So apparently the things that I'm going through, others are going through it as well. And so we're all in this together. A few nights ago I dreamt that I was on an airplane. Now, this airplane was a 747. I've been writing about a 737, and I still get the number 37, and it still means the same thing. But I did want to read a little bit about what a 747 is, and the significance and why the Lord wanted to change the plane from a 737 to a 747. Now, this is the background on the actual plane. I had it up, but now I need to pull it up again. One moment. Be patient with me. Significance. Alright, I think Oh, here we go. Okay, so someone asked on Google, why is the 747 so famous? And it said that at its launch, the jumbo was cutting edge. It carried more than twice as many passengers as the Boeing's next largest plane, and it was more fuel efficient, reducing the cost per seat and opening up the world to jet travel. Now the difference is it's a jet, and a jet as opposed to a plane. So in the dream that I had, I was driving one of these, and I glanced over out of the left window, the left-hand side. It was weird because I was on the wrong side, or I wasn't on the side that you drive on. I was on the right side, and I guess that's where everything was. It was just the way that it was, the airplane. And then I glanced over to the left, and I was the only one on the plane, and I was driving and everything. And I looked over, and I was just in the clouds. I was just riding through clouds, flying through clouds. Pretty amazing. Felt really comfortable. I was happy, and I was just up there, just riding through clouds. It's very nice. And then, I don't remember if this was if I slept when I dreamt this, or if I was awake. My days and nights are running into each other, and I don't even keep track of I don't keep track of time. And sometimes when I'm up in the presence of the Lord, I feel like I'm dreaming. I don't know if you know what I mean, but it's been kind of intense. Not so much in just a bad way. Sometimes it is, but it's getting easier, or I should say more. It's getting intense, but in a good way. I guess, I'm building endurance. And so I guess, warfare prayers are it's just, it's a way of life, I guess. And then it's just something that I do. It's second nature now. And then, getting in the presence of the Lord is so rewarding after it. And I just talk to him, I cry, I do, all of those things. And then on like just a time where I am not expecting it, he'll just start showing me things. And then some things are for me specifically, but other things he'll tell me to share it. If he wants me to share it, then it's for all of us. And so this is one of those things. And so what the Lord is saying here is, he's saying, take off to your destiny, your influence, and your promise. So that's what we're doing here. And let me read a little something. So we are supposed to be taking off in the Spirit. And I've been getting this number for longer than just a week. I've been getting it since I've started this. I think the Tabernacles, remember the Feast of Tabernacles in September? That's when it all started. That's when this whole thing kicked off. I didn't know what I was getting myself into, and then it just never really stopped. It doesn't matter if I fast or not. If the Lord has me pray and then I go and make something to eat, he'll tell me to, all right, pray before I even eat. So it's up to him, really. Anyway, so it says, God is taking you higher and further. Expansion, increase of influence, a taking off and rocketing into the now promises over your life. A call to higher perspective and revelation that can only come through new emphasis on strategic prayer and declaration. It can be specifically referencing travel and flying. I know some of us are, as you know, we're supposed to be fleeing the cities, and that was 2 episodes ago. The last episode was about what the Lord expects from us, and what that means when he's bringing us into the promise and waiting on his instruction to move forward. And also to step out in faith when he tells you if we're supposed to be leaving and it's urgent. I hope that everyone has stepped out in faith toward where they're going. We're not to be just sitting and waiting on someone to knock on the door or something to fall into our lap or come into our mailbox. We're supposed to be moving in faith toward what we're supposed to be doing. That's the last episode. This episode is it's just letting you know that we're moving further and we're expanding to new heights and we're going further. So it's a call to go up higher and to prioritize prophetic intercession, where clarity will be given through purposed prayer focus. I'm going to read the rest of this and I will go into what I've been experiencing. So it's implied that to go further, you must go higher. You're entering into a new season. Well, for me, I'm already in the season. So some are entering, some are in their new season already. I'm in the middle of it here. And for some reason, this season's going by quicker than the last one. The last one took me a little bit to get through. This one, I'm getting through it a little quicker. I think that is probably because of, I don't know, it just some things that you go through that you need deliverance from, or whatever you're doing, whatever the Lord has you doing. The reason why some seasons may be quicker or slower, it's because it depends on you. Depends on how you take everything, how serious you're being about the whole thing. And I'm not getting through it quick enough, I feel. And so I'm not trying to rush it. Sometimes I do try to rush it. But I learned from my last seasons. And so I guess it gets easier once you know what you're doing, once you know what the assignment is. I can't wait to get my voice back. I don't remember what my real voice sounds like anymore. Anyway, so we are, so the Lord is He's releasing clarity and needs us to stay focused. He needs us to stay focused in prayer as well as intercession. Now, I've noticed that when I do my Sunday, well, I go to church, but it's online, so I still go like I'm in the building. I mean, I don't miss a beat. I go to the prayer meeting, and then I go, I try to, unless I'm doing my own extensive prayer, I'm in the meetings and I'm singing along. And I'm just like I'm in the church building. And so I noticed that when we were doing our prayer meeting, we're all on one accord. And the Lord will put on my heart. I don't know if any of you have ever experienced when the Lord puts on your hearts a burden that He puts on your heart. And then you just feel this overwhelming need or want to cry, to just cry in the Spirit. You just want to let it all out, and you can't help it. It's involuntary, and you're feeling the heart of the Lord. And I'm not sure if anybody knows what I mean by that, but that's one example of what He's calling us to do in this season. I know this is what I'm doing. I don't know about anyone else. Sometimes He'll have us on different assignments as well. But I'm still doing, warfare prayers, of course. But I am also praying for my loved ones. He has me praying for their salvation. And I've learned that you can't pray for people, or God can't use you if you have bitterness in your heart. So He needs you to get out of your own way and get out of His way, so that He can have His way with those people. He wants to use you as a vessel to pray for them. And so that's an assignment. That's one of the things that we're doing. And so focused prayer and intercession, and then pay attention when in prayer and in the secret place to who he highlights to you about what he's trying to tell you. All right. Next. Pay attention to what he's revealing to you so that you can receive deliverance. Now, this part is absolutely most important to me. I can't go in my next, which I'm gonna be going on time. I'm not about to delay or allow any delays. The Lord, I made sure that I ask him not, don't let me, get in my way and delay anything. So he is delivering us from things that we don't even know that we have issues with. It says, share a testimony that I've been doing in prayer and how I'm receiving deliverance that no one else was able to give. So, like I've said before, I've never been physically in front of someone and I've gotten deliverance. I've never done that, but I've listened to people like the vets. I'll only listen to people that, or like Derek Prince. Sorry, that's my dog. Like Derek Prince or Win Worley, or I watch their videos and I get deliverance from that. I'm very picky about who I get deliverance from, and so and I know Rich. I like Rich, and then Pastor Pagani. He's pretty good. There's like a select few, and there's even fewer. Like I do this. I try to do this every day, and it's like, you can never. I don't think myself. You can never get too much. You can never do this too much. It's just an ongoing thing. Anointings, oils, and blessings. So this is all a part of going higher. I wanted to ask a question I wrote down. Has anyone noticed divine favor over your life? Have you noticed that you have divine favor? Because I noticed that I was driving someone to work, and the opposition that I would get, like this unnecessary, not just that time, but it's a couple other times. It wasn't just a day of just bad traffic. It happened a couple times. And it was just the opposition that people get. Sometimes you're just wondering, how do they live like that? And then I guess we don't notice that God is with us and he has his hand on us. And the little things that we just take for granted are huge, because I'm not used to going through that. That's why I noticed it. And so, I just wanted to ask that question. Does anyone notice divine favor? There are increased giftings right now. There are, I don't know if I should mention too much about this, but whatever the Lord is, whatever gifts that you have, I'm pretty sure that they're probably heightened or they have increased, especially if you've been in prayer to ask for increased giftings. So that's another one. An example of that is like if you're a seer, you'll be able to see more, or you'll be able to see in the spirit more. So that's an example of that. But it could be anything. And so I wrote down, it's all happening so fast. There's not much room to just linger in error. So if you fall or make a mistake, get back up and move forward. It's been really hard for me at times, but just make sure you don't give up. You're going to be close to feeling like you want to give up. And just because you're close to feeling like it, I've never actually made up in my mind, I'm going to give up. No, that's just not going to happen. It gets that hard though. And we're almost there. That's what it is. We're almost there. And the Lord knows our limits. He won't let us go. He won't let us fall backwards. So we can trust Him. And what the enemy wants you to do is they want you to forfeit. They want you to forfeit just because I said that it's hard and you get close to wanting to give up doesn't mean that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean I'm going to give up or I'm close to giving up. No, I said it feels like you feel like that. But there's no way. You have to make that up in your mind. You have to make up in your mind, okay, I give up. And that's not going to happen. So make sure you don't give up. I'm just here to encourage. We're all going through the same thing. Remember, the enemy wants you to forfeit. So don't even have it in your mind. Don't even think about it. That's their plan. Their plan, because the reason why they need you to forfeit, it's just like someone needing you to confess something that they have no proof of. They need you to forfeit because they can't touch your blessing. They can't touch where you're going. They can't do a thing about it. Not one thing. And so I have scripture that I wanted to share. John 8:17 and 18. And so it says, in your own law, it is written that the testimony of two witnesses is true. 18, I am one who testifies for myself. My other witness is the Father who sent me. So the Lord wanted me to emphasize that the Lord, Yahweh God our Father is His other witness besides Him. He just wants us to know that He will do this and that our promises are true. Every promise is true. And in conclusion, I know this is short, but this is what the Lord has given me this week. And I might get something a little sooner than next week. So anyway, in conclusion, we are going further, which requires us to go up higher. And so remember that. So the Lord is always speaking, even if we aren't listening. What is He speaking to you? Thank you so much for listening, and I will talk to you next time.